Well, hello, everyone. This is your favorite personal growth coach, Dr. Nick, and we are here for another wonderful Wednesday session of Adulting in My Purpose. Guys, it has been an exciting time sharing, talking about personal growth and development for our wonderful millennials out there who just need some guidance, who need some help. You might be stuck and you just needed some help. So we have been doing these sessions for quite some time, since April, and it has been going good. So we have our segment today, Millennials Making Move, where we have guests that come in that share all of the great things that they are doing. So I am excited. Hello, Alex. I see you. Welcome, everyone. Come on in. Let me know that you're watching. Say hello. Don't be shy. Let me know that you're watching. Say hello. So for those that may be watching for the first time, let me give you a formal introduction. My name is Dr. Nicole Rankin. I am the CEO of the Cole Academy of Personal Growth, and we are a training and development company that provides leadership development, personal growth strategies, and communication training for students. And when I talk about students, I mean millennials down to our Gen Zers, and we're helping them develop the soft skills that they need for success. Not only do we deal with students, but we also deal with educational leaders that support them and helping them become better leaders of our students. So we're all about helping leaders become better leaders of others, but most importantly, become better leaders of yourself, because it's all about personal growth and development. So that is the official about myself. So I am glad. Welcome everyone again to another session of Adulting in My Purpose. Hey, Natalie, I see you. Welcome. You guys come in and join. Hey, Leah, welcome. So I'm excited because our guest tonight, wow. Like we go back, right? We go way back. And I've known this gentleman for such a long time, and he is truly phenomenal and is growing and doing some amazing things in the community. So we have Pastor Alex L. Brown, and he is a speaker, community leader, a pastor, an entrepreneur, and now an author. He's doing it. When we talk about millennials making moves, he is doing it. He had a dream that started around 8 years old, guys, and now has become a commitment to helping people and to empowering people all across the nation. And he's truly amazing. So without further ado, I'm just going to bring up the man of the hour, Mr. Pastor Alex Brown. Hey, welcome.
What's up? How are you?
I am doing wonderful. So good to see you.
You too. I love what you are doing. It's absolutely amazing. It really is.
Thank you so much. I remember, I think the last time we saw you, we were doing a youth
That's right.
event. I think you came to our church to speak a while ago.
That's it.
Wow.
That's
Look at
it.
God.
I
Look
do
at God.
remember
So
that.
doing, yes. Well, we're excited to have you. Hey, Danny. Hey, y'all. Welcome. You got your peoples chiming in. I see them coming on
They
in. Say
jumping in.
hello. Let
What's
us know
up?
you're there. They out there.
That's what's up. Thank y'all for the
Danny,
support
Leah,
tonight.
Natalie, Alex. Awesome. So I just like to start. I know about you. I know the greatness that you have and all God that's doing in and through you. But tell the audience, how did you get started and your path to where you are now? Tell us a little bit
Certainly.
about yourself.
Yeah, I'm just a kid. I tell people I'm just a kid from Middle Georgia. I grew up in Warner Robins, Georgia. So right outside of Macon.
Okay.
And as you mentioned earlier, right around the age of 8 years old is when I started having just these different types of like dreams of things that were far from our reality at the time. And I had no idea what they meant. Honestly, I had no idea
Mhm.
what they meant. And so after that, I went to school in Georgia College and State University in Millersville, Georgia. Dr. Nick, very small town. right? Very small town in Milledgeville. Studied
Wow.
business, and honestly, total honesty, I studied business because we didn't have much growing up at all,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to find a way to help my family be on the
Oh,
other side of the spectrum. And so I was like, okay, you
that's
know what? I'm going to
awesome.
study business, and yeah, did that, and relocated to Atlanta. I had to get to a city bigger than I lived in small cities my whole life. I
I
was like, I have to
see.
get to a big city, so came to Atlanta and still been here ever since.
Okay, awesome. So
Yeah.
a small city with a big dream.
That's oh wow, that's good. Absolutely,
Small city
absolutely.
with big dreams. So tell us now, you moved to Atlanta, you had these big
Yeah,
dreams as a young child, but knew that there was more that you wanted to do than where your environment was, right? How was that
absolutely.
transition from now you coming from a small country town? I'm assuming it's country. I'm like, right? It's a
It
country.
is. You're right.
Okay, small country town to now the big city, ready to just kind of forge into all of the things that you have in your brain. What is that transition, and how did that come to pass?
Absolutely. One of the first things that I began to do, well, I'll say this: the first thing I did is learn that Atlanta traffic is no joke. Like I remember driving through downtown, I was like, "Oh, this is definitely different. This is
Yeah,
different." And so honestly, I just began just building relationships.
yeah.
I studied marketing in school, and it was all about building relationships. Like when you don't know something, you go find somebody who knows it, and you ask questions. You get around people who are further along. Most people I talked to didn't look like myself, and I would
Mm,
just ask questions, and that curiosity would just lead me to other people in the right places. And I just began to honestly, I began to invest myself into what they were doing.
mm,
And that was a big part of my start. Like it wasn't about money, it was about any of those things, even though I had none, right? I had none. I just started investing my time. That's all I had to give. And that
mm.
was my transition. Like, how can I go serve? How can I go learn? How can I help this person walk into their vision and their dream? Like that was me. That was me.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
powerful. That's powerful because it reminds me of the quote by Jim Rohn that says, "The more you help other people get what they want, the more you get what you want." And
That's good.
at a young age, you realize that, right? You said you didn't
Absolutely.
you didn't have no money, broke is a joke, right?
That's it.
But you had time, and that's just a powerful thing because a lot of time, especially with young people now, they want the fastness, right? They want it quick.
Yes.
They want the money, they want everything, the success. And you're just saying that you came with a vision, but you didn't have the
Yes.
resources, but you had the time, you had the manpower, and you just wanted to serve where you can, right? Wow.
That's it.
That is a
That's
powerful
it.
example. I hope you guys are listening out there. Right there, that alone can preach right there. You can preach a word on that one. I love that. So
That's
tell us
good.
now that you have, okay, you've come to the big city.
Hmm.
Alex says, "I like this." Alex says, "I like this guy already." They loving you out there. I'm telling you, I'm bringing the people with the goods, y'all. These are millennials making moves. So you come to the big city, you're
Hmm.
serving, and
Hmm.
you're investing your time, learning
Hmm.
and growing. Now, how do you go from there to where you were to Pastor Alex L. Brown?
Absolutely. So that honestly, that began with pain, a lot of
Mm.
pain and time by myself. And so I started, a part of that serving was just serving with like a local youth ministry
Mm.
and just sitting and just figuring out how to pour into the lives of young people. And honestly, this is what I would do. This is me being totally honest, right?
Bring
I
it,
would
bring
go
it.
to work. I would go to work. I would come home. Like I would go one night a week to help young people. I would literally come home and I would just study and read and just totally invest in just wisdom and trying to. I did that for 3 years of just
Wow.
diving in, just learning, and had friends who were like, "Hey man, come here with me. Let's go to this place. Let's go to this club. Let's do this, this, and this." And I was just so focused on the Nick, like there's something greater here. I have to figure out what this is. And much
Mm-hmm.
pain in that process of like losing a lot, people who were even close to me, experiencing death and various things. And so it was a hard, very, very hard process.
Mm.
And then, but around that 3 year mark, doors begin to open, like opportunities to go and then begin speaking, begin just pouring into other people. Like it just started opening. I totally did nothing different than I've always done.
Wow.
And doors just begin to open. And that was, wow, that was 2008 when that began to happen. And we're
Mm-hmm.
what, 12 years later?
Yeah, 12 years
And
later.
it's still going strong. Like even despite like what's happening in our country right now, like it's
Yeah.
actually gotten stronger this year.
Wow.
So it's blowing me away. It's just a matter of just continuing to serve, continuing to invest, and not trying to manipulate situations, but
Mm.
just being faithful with where I was. And over time, it just transitioned from eventually becoming a youth pastor, eventually investing in real estate and building businesses, and now it's just across the gamut of just incredible things that I've seen happen. It blows me away. Yeah,
Wow.
it blows
Wow.
me away.
That's powerful, guys. Because this is something that I always share with my young people, that it's a process and we have to embrace the
Yes,
process. And a lot of times, we want things on that microwave society, that microwave mindset. But you're an example of how I say when you're waiting. A lot of times people say, I'm waiting on God, I'm waiting on God. And they wait on God, but they're not doing anything. But the
right.
actual waiting is preparation. It's a
Yes.
waiting with anticipation. So in your wait, you are preparing. You were in there studying the word. You growing. You doing this, and you're making the sacrifice. So when the opportunity comes, as they said, when opportunities comes, it's too late to prepare. You're ready. So I
That's it.
love the fact that you exemplified that, and how now the doors are opening because you were ready. You didn't wait till they got open
Man,
to start preparing. You took the time, you made the sacrifice. And I like how you
mm,
said it was birthed out of pain, because I can
yeah.
imagine. So talk about that, as a young person, you know, having this vision, but then you got your boys, you got your crew, like, yo, let's go live our best life. Like,
Absolutely.
how do you come into your own to say, I'm going to focus and
Absolutely.
hone in on what I'm supposed to do and not get distracted with all the things that are around you?
Absolutely. I love how you even worded that question, like in regards to focus. Like, so for me, do you know what preceded focus for me was failing? Like I
Mm,
failed a lot when it came to ministry, business, relationships, like just failing a lot and wondering why am I so like all over the place? Like why am I
mm,
not winning? Like I know I'm supposed to be winning, but everything keeps falling apart. And what happened is I didn't realize this, but there was areas of my life that had to be chiseled away so that
mm,
I could properly focus. And for me, 'cause I was very all over the place, like scattered, going here, going there. And the more I failed, the more maybe the drive to want to win. And so slowly but surely, it's like my life began to be chiseled and constantly cut away at. And I didn't know it, but it was like narrowing in. Like imagine like my hands here, it was just like
yeah.
narrowing in the focus. So now, even at this stage of my life, like I'm very just locked in on what I'm supposed to be doing and who I am.
Mm,
Because I knew this. I knew this. Like I'm in my 30s now, right? But when I was in my 20s, I made a decision. I was like, hey, I don't want to wait until I'm 50s, 60s,
mm,
70s to retire or what have you. I want to be in control of that. I believe that God has given me much to do, much to accomplish, and I want to do the right things now
right.
so that later I can really live the life that I know that I'm called to live. And so those early sacrifices are paying off in like crazy dividends now that I believe, honestly, Dr. Nick, that my children will be able to benefit and live off of decisions that were made in my 20s. I really believe that.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
That right there is powerful. Guys, this you preach even to me. Just understanding, staying focused, and being one thing that I wrote down when you said that is that your success was because of your failures and how you
Yes.
failed in different areas. And that's a thing that a lot of people fear is
Yeah.
failure. A lot of people, and I say people because this is young people and older people, that we
Yes.
don't move forward on things that we know that we're supposed to do or that we're called
Yes.
to do because that fear of failure. What if I fail? What if
What
things
if I
don't go
fail?
right? What if, and then you get those limiting doubts and that self-belief, and then you just end up
Mm.
doing nothing. And like you said, you
Yes.
end up in your 40s, 50s, and 60s with my woulda, coulda, shouldas. But what you said was powerful, that it was the failure that motivated you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It almost reminds me of this, like imagine this, like just for a moment, like whenever we were kids and we were learning to do things, we learned it by failing, like
Yeah.
falling down, trying to learn how to walk, various things. And so something happens around like teenage to young adult age, etc., and beyond, where we stop using failure as a learning tool. And we
Mm,
begin to I look at it as like such a bad thing, but I've just found that like it's a part of the learning process, and every time you do it, you learn so much more, and you
yeah,
attack it stronger the next time. And so using it
absolutely.
as a catalyst for growth.
I
Absolutely.
love it. Use failure as a catalyst for growth. Alex,
That's
Alex
it.
says you failed forward and you were
That's
laser
it.
focused. Leah says it truly is a process, and that's where the growth occurs. I love
That's
it. I
it.
love it. So you mentioned that you're in your 30s. So you
Yes.
are a millennial,
I
right?
am. I am.
And we know, you guys, millennials, you guys get a bad rap. I, you
We
know, I,
do.
I don't know what that's about, but you guys get a bad rap. So, but and I love it because I mentor millennials and I work with
Mm,
millennials and just helping them to get established in the world. And you guys are amazing.
wow.
So it's an amazing just to be in this space. But
Mm.
as a young person, as a millennial, what is some of the or one or some of the biggest challenges that you may have just establishing yourself in the world, being so young and
Absolutely.
having the vision? So let's talk about that.
Absolutely. I've learned this is like especially those that may be a little bit older than myself. Like you do get the strange eyes sometimes when people look at you like, hey, like what does this guy bring to the table? They a lot of times they told me they expect like inconsistencies. They
Mm,
expect a lack of focus all over the place. They expect not a very good work ethic. I've heard a lot of that. Woo! More than
wow.
I care just to mention tonight of like a lot of that. And so how I've responded to it is that I've made the decision to uh, demonstrate for this generation. Not and again, I'm not the only voice by any means, but just be a very small voice that says, "Hey, there's something very significant to what we offer." And
Mm,
rather than waiting on someone to give me a stage, I decided to build a stage,
whoa.
and that was a big thing for me. Like, like don't wait for it to be handed to you. Go build it. And yeah, so that's been a big thing for me for sure.
I love. Did y'all get that? Y'all go tweet that. Did you put that in the comments? I'm busy. I can't do to somebody put that in the comment. Rather than wait for somebody to give you a stage, go build it. I
Go
love
build
it.
it.
I
Go
love it.
build it.
And that's one thing I love about your generation. It's, we're different now. I'm a Gen Xer, and we have baby boomers and older that, kind of are more of the established, stable, but
Mm-hmm.
not much risk takers. But you just go in there and get it. Danielle put it in there. Don't wait for it. Go build it. Go build your stage.
That's
And I
it.
and I love the fact that you've done that and you're doing that, and the
Oh, thank
doors that
you.
keep opening for you. And it's just amazing just to see your growth and all the things that you're doing and all the people that you are impacting. So tell me, speak more about, you talked about, all the things that you're doing as far as business goes. How has business been impacted by being a millennial and what you're doing now?
Absolutely. And so business has been, I would say, prior to this year, I'll say it this way, like this year is called a total shift, right? But
Okay.
prior to this year, business, it's like the opportunities are just endless. Like,
Mm.
can you imagine this? Like I know you know it's already very well, but like having the capacity to dream something, right? Research it, find the right people who can be a part of it, and then begin to just pour into it and see it grow. Like the opportunity, like we see it as like a common thing. There are other people in other countries who are like, man, I wish I had the opportunity. And
Mm.
so for me, I've always just seen it as we have this brevity of time that we're here on the earth. Dr. Nick, I want to turn over every stone that God has given me. And
Mm.
if he's given me a business acumen and an eye and a desire for business, like I want to leave no stone left unturned. I want to explore it. I want to see what's possible. And now being in a position where I can begin to like mentor others and
Mm.
invest in others and begin the process of looking into, hey, the possibility of hiring others so they can
Mm.
provide for their families or etc. Like that for me is so incredible. And it really is like a dream come true, like the opportunity to do that. It really is, and even now this year, it's
Mhm.
my mind's opened up even more
Right.
to what's possible. It's like we are in. I'll say this to everybody who's listening. I hope everybody can get this.
Right.
We
Get
are
notes.
in this.
Get it down.
This is a yes. It's very hard to see like the pain that people have gone through,
Yeah.
the loss they've gone through. Like it's very hard. I've had it impact like family members of mine as well. And this also though, like, but with on the business side of it as well though, it is a we are in a I would say of our generation, like of our lifetime rather, one of the if not the biggest cultural shifts ever. This communication shift blows me away. Like I can be like, for example, we're interviewing here now, right? And the next hour, you could be talking to somebody who's in the Netherlands. The next hour, someone in Europe. The next day, somebody in Oklahoma. Wherever it is,
Yeah.
we're communicating just that fast. And I think the opportunities are so endless. If we would just seek God on what would you have me to do with what you've given me, I think the opportunities would just like blow us away. I really
Wow.
do.
I,
Yeah.
I I love it.
Yeah. We're in it. We are in it.
I love it. And it's so funny because a lot of times when we enter in that season of trials and tribulations or things of
Right.
the unknown, we kind of go backwards, right? And we get in our
Yes.
comfort zone. And you're saying, and I've seen it and experienced this in my own life as well, that this is the opportunity. This is the time where the seeds need to be planted. This is the time where, you whatever
Yes.
that you've been thinking, whatever you've been wanting to do, this is the time to put that in that fertile ground. And the
This is
fact
it.
that it's an amazing that you see the opportunity, and then not only that you talked about it, just the greatness, abundance of opportunity that is there when you are in line, when you're seeking God for your purpose and seeking God for things to do, what doors can open. And I've been watching you. I stalk you on Facebook and Instagram. So I know I see all the great things that you've been doing with the church, with work, with the book. So it has
Wow.
been just the opportunity, Lisa. It's I know for me, how about yourself? Like during this season, I've been more tired than I was before COVID. I'm like, oh, it's a constant thing. So
Yes.
so I know that you are a husband, you are a
Absolutely.
pastor, you are a leader. So how are you balancing all of that? And a
Absolutely.
business person, entrepreneur, author, how do you balance all of that?
Absolutely. That's a great question. I'll say two key things. The first one is having the right people around you.
Say that again. Say that
Like
again.
having the right people around you is an it is an invaluable resource. Like it's just having people who hear this, even people who do what you don't do, they
Mm,
do it well, and
yeah.
you having the confidence to delegate those things to them, and you having to trust your team. Like that is vital, because we all only have 24 hours in a day. And so having people who believe in vision and their livelihoods are better because of it, that would be the first thing I would share. There's so much more to that part, but
I love it.
secondly is this is like, so I love the word balance. I've begun to use this word probably about 3 years ago. Is that I begin to switch the word balance for my priorities,
Mm,
right? And so what I do is I begin to schedule my values first. So whatever is a high value to me, I put those things on my schedule first every single week, and that way I can make sure that I'm prioritizing the right things and not just trying to keep up with everything. Because I naturally was trying to like juggle things, and I'm dropping balls everywhere because I can't keep up with it all, right? And
wow.
so it makes me. I'll say this. It makes me know when to say no. Like if you're gonna have high priorities with values, it makes the decision clearer of when you need to say no. Like that, the power of that simple word has been a game changer. The power of no.
A small word, but powerful, right?
Yes,
I love it. Oh,
absolutely.
you've dropped so many goals in just that little segment that you just talked about. And I want to recap. The first thing that he said was making sure you have the right people around you. And we have talked about this. We talked about the power of the inner circle, and that you are the average
Oh,
of the 5 people that's closest to you. You know, making sure that your inner circle is right and you have the right people in your inner circle. But you said another thing is understanding the power of delegation. And
yes.
that's such a key thing. As leaders, you know, we have the propensity to just be doers, and sometimes
Yes.
we can be too controlling and want our hands in everything.
Everything.
Everything, right? We don't want to let it go. But you said something so powerful that you have to trust the people that you're with and trust your team, right?
Absolutely.
I love that, because the law of empowerment says that only secure leaders are able to give their power away.
That's
and
good.
and that's so powerful, because as
Wow.
leaders we are
Mm,
supposed to build other leaders, but we have
absolutely.
so many leaders that want to hoard what they have and not teach and not share and not delegate and help other people come up as leaders. So that was just a powerful thing that
Mm,
you talked about, that says being okay with trusting the people and delegating, that they will do just as better a job as you are, because
absolutely.
we have strengths, right? But we ain't good at everything.
Mm,
No
at
matter what
all.
we think, we may think we are. We may want to be, but we're not. We
We're
know we have
not.
strength, but there are people who are strong where we are weak, and vice
Yes.
versa. And when we lock arms, there's so much things that could be accomplished. So wow, you
Absolutely.
spoke right there. I love it. And then the power of no. We could talk about that
Power of
all
no.
night. The power of no, guys. Learn the power of no. And I love the way you say that you don't use the word balance anymore. And that was powerful, and learning how to prioritize. I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
love that.
One of the major things about that, doctor, is like people people will, if we don't prioritize and know what's most important to us,
Yeah.
other people will attempt to dictate for us what they think we ought to do, and that just creates this this confusion, this lethargic energy. It's like so much happens around that. And so
Yeah.
knowing this means a lot to me. This is what I value, and prioritizing it and scheduling, it's just given so much clarity to my life. It really has.
I love it. I love it. And
Yeah,
it allows you to be a better leader of your life. So a lot
absolutely.
of times, we just, most people just kind of accept life as it goes. I'm going with the flow or just going with the wind. But when you do that, when you be intentional and take that type of mindset and take that type of strategy with your life, it's like you're leading your life in the way that you desire, in the way that God has called. And it's like you
That's
said,
it.
you're not juggling all the balls, you're focused, you're going in, you know what's happening, when it's happening, and life
Yes,
is more clearer that way,
it is.
isn't it?
It
And
is.
it, wow, you guys, isn't he great? I see
This is
Natalie out there. Chris joined us. Welcome, Chris. Welcome, Rodney. Welcome, everybody. We just talking with Pastor Alex, and he is just dropping nuggets. So I
I hope
hope
it's
you out
helping.
there. I hope, yeah, it is. It's helping me, and I know it's. Is it helping y'all out there? Let them know that it's helping y'all. Let them know in the comments. Is it helping you guys? Alex says he's awesome. Amy says yeah.
Wow.
So it
Appreciate it.
is helping them. Yes,
Wow.
absolutely.
Wow.
So let's talk about what advice. Let's talk about what advice would you tell those millennials out there who are seeking their purpose, who are just trying to find. Leah said, "Yeah, this is good." James, he said yes. Natalie said yes. Awesome. So they're getting it. So just give us some advice for millennials out there who are seeking their purpose, kind of where you were years ago, just trying to figure
Absolutely.
out like where do I fit in this world? What advice would you give to them?
Absolutely. I would start here with them knowing that purpose is already on the inside of them, right? Like
Mm,
it's not something that they're not here by accident, that it is something that is very real. Like even when you are unsure of what it is, them knowing and hearing that it's present and it's there, right? And so the key is, and then we also hear about so often is, hey, I have to discover my purpose. I have to know what it is now. I have to figure it out. And so what happens is a lot of times there's a lot of tension behind like you got to figure it out today. Like if you don't know what it
mhm.
is today, then you're a bad person, and that's just not it's not accurate. And so what I figured out is this, and I don't have it all together yet, but I figured
Yeah.
this part out is that over time we purpose sometimes is slowly revealed in different stages, and you begin to see different sides of your purpose in different stages of life.
Yeah.
And so that's helped me with pacing to further see purpose revealed, is that understanding that part up front is that hey, it's not like a download to our phone where we get it all at one time, right? Like it's like an update. Like over time, more
Yeah.
and more updates come out, and that's how purpose is often revealed as well. And when you do begin to get small signs of it, it's very key to begin to apply it and give it away immediately. Like don't sit on it, but like apply it, begin to work what you do know until you figure out what you don't know.
I love
Like
it.
just work it. And so with that is this, and I don't know the context fully of the audience here, but I'm a person of faith, as you already shared, Dr. Nick. So like I believe this is that we as the creation cannot know purpose without seeking the creator.
Mm.
Like he has the owner's manual. He's created. So I even say it this way to kind of make it even simpler, right? Before we ever got here, God had a thought, and at the time that He chose, He released that thought into the earth, and that thought is you. And so we are here to solve a problem. We are here to
That's
fulfill a need. We are here to explore an opportunity. So that thought manifested itself and showed up in our being, and we are here as a whatever God thought in that moment. We are here now based off of that thought. So we are here like to fulfill purpose, and it's his
Mm.
job. It's his job. Like he wants to reveal it. And so lastly is this. And I'm getting so excited here now.
You
Like
good? You good?
God,
It's good. Come
like
on with it. Come on with
like
it.
God is not playing hide and seek with
Yeah,
purpose. It's just that so often we're running around so much and and we're comparing ourselves to everybody else and competing with everybody that we
yeah.
haven't slowed down enough to seek the creator for the revealing of purpose.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
it. Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful. Powerful. I
This
love
is
it.
awesome.
Purpose is revealed over time, and
Over time.
it's so funny that you say that, because when a lot of millennials that I work with, they feel the pressure, and
Yes.
they feel that tension that you talked about, because they'll talk to me, be like, Miss Nicole, I'm just not where I'm supposed to be, and I don't feel
Yeah.
like I'm doing, and I'm like, who says?
Who
Who
says?
says you're supposed to be at a certain place at a certain time? And
Wow.
who said this? Where's this
Wow.
pressure coming from? How about you work with what you have now and allow God to
Yes.
feel it? And you said that so perfectly, that purpose is on the inside. And a lot of times we're so much seeking external circumstances to
Yes.
reveal who we are, and God created us on the inside. Well,
Yes.
this is an inside job. We have
That's it.
purpose inside out, not outside in. And I
That's
love,
it.
and like yourself, I am a woman of faith, so I don't make no qualms on adulting in my purpose. People can't do nothing without God. So we are proclaiming that here. So
It's amazing.
no quarrels about that. We're not hiding that at all. So we know that God has created us, and you talked about that, and we have to
Absolutely.
have to search him out and do that self-discovery, that inner work that
Yes.
needs to happen. And a lot of times
Yes.
this is my passion, and this is where I love, because this is all about personal growth and development. How are you
Absolutely.
focusing on you? How are you learning who you are and who God has created you to be, so you can understand now how to operate in the physical, in that realm, and what you're supposed to do, and how. So I love it. I love it.
So good.
Wow, this is great. I'm having a
So
great.
good. So good. Me too. You're
Yeah.
incredible.
Oh gosh.
By the way, can I pause real quick and tell you this? You are a great host. Let me tell you that. You are a great host. I don't know how long you've been doing this all together, but you are a great host.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it. Hey, Celeste, we gotta welcome all our people out there coming on. I saw James. Hey, James. Uh, Celeste came on. Good. She said good stuff. She said, "Come on, you preaching."
That's
All
awesome.
right. So the audience is soaking this up. So of
That's
course,
good.
like I said, I am the personal growth and personal development coach, and I truly believe that's where it all starts. In
Hmm.
understanding who God has called you to be. Hey, Cedric.
Hmm.
Um, and so when it comes to personal development, what are some of the things
Uh-huh.
that you do to
Yes.
grow yourself and to do that personal development for yourself?
Yes. And so I've made the decision that I'm going to be a lifelong learner. And so I receive from a variety of sources. It's hard for me to sit down and only read, like
Mhm.
just read all the time, right? And so I'll do audiobooks, podcasts, video. Um, I do enjoy reading at this stage of my life as well. I add that in, and so I'm always just looking for ways to invest in what I know is on the inside of me. And
Mm.
so I honestly I delve into a plethora of different things depending on many times it's what I'm looking to gain. Like there are various life skills I want to learn. And so in different seasons and different years of my life, depending on what I'm going after, that tends to lead me into what I ought to be like, whether it's like reading or listening or who I'm around, all that good stuff. What's very interesting about this? When I first started doing this, I would go to Starbucks, right? And because I kept hearing about this place called Starbucks, I was like, "What is Starbucks?" I would go and sit there. I did not drink coffee, like any of that. Do you know? I would sit there and just I would look for people who look like they were having a good conversation. And
Uh-huh.
it's gonna sound bad. I would sit close to them, and I would listen in on their business conversations, and I would move around until I found somebody who was saying something that I wanted to learn, and I would sit there and eavesdrop. Please
You
don't tell them that.
eavesdropping. You
Don't tell them
you
that.
you telling the world. You telling the world you was Starbucks stalker. Oh
Oh
wow.
my goodness.
Pastor Alex is a Starbucks stalker.
I tell you, in the early days, that's how I learned so much. Even even before meeting my wife and like marrying her, like I would sit by older couples, I'm talking about 60s, 70s, 80 years old, and I would go sit near them and just listen to what they were saying. It
Wow.
sounds so crazy, but it helped me so
Wow.
much early on.
All right, so that's a tip for y'all. Become a Starbucks stalker when we open up. Don't go now. I don't know if they open up, but wear your mask if you're going to go
Right.
in.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
but start hashtag. Somebody start a hashtag Starbucks stalker. I love it. But it just goes to the fact of how passionate and how much you wanted and it was hungry to learn.
Absolutely.
That you
Absolutely.
go to those measures and seek those out. It's just a testament of who you are and the desire that God has placed in you. Alex says, did you ever react to what you were hearing?
I did. I would if I heard something that was really good, it's gonna sound so weird. I would interrupt their conversation,
Oh, wow.
and I would ask, "Hey, can I ask you all like one question?" And do you know, I think there's only one person. I did it for like 2 years. Only one person was kind of offensive. Like, wait a minute, no. Most people were just very inviting, and I
Wow.
learned because they wanted to pour. They saw a student who wanted to know, and they were willing to share, and it helped me
Wow.
so much. It
Wow,
helped me so
guys.
much.
That is powerful. You can't be shy.
Absolutely.
You got to be able
You
to take
can't.
risks, right?
Have to.
I love the fact that when you're wanting to do things that you've never done before, you got to do things that you've
Mm,
never done. You can't keep doing the same
yes.
in your comfort zone because you'll never grow. And that would be a stretch and out of comfort zone for me. You so that
Yes.
so wow, that is powerful. Um, Leah says no more Starbucks for you. I love that. Celeste says I've gotten full off of some conversations at Starbucks as well. All right, now
Wow.
everybody. Alice says not everyone can do that. Hashtag Starbucks stalker. But hey, this is a
That's good.
challenge. This is a challenge to get outside of your comfort zone. Because we said there's
Absolutely.
nothing great that happens inside of your comfort zone. And as a leader, you have to be a learner. You have to seek knowledge. And I
Yes.
always tell people that especially young people, like if you want to be successful and want to be and go to a certain level, you have to be around people who are doing it
That's
and
right.
succeeding and killing it. So if
That's right.
you trying to be a millionaire and everybody around you is a thousandaire, something ain't right. Something ain't right. So you got to change, do what you need to do. If you have to
Absolutely.
go and be a Starbucks stalker, then hey, that's what you got to do. So I love that energy. I love Natalie says you are hungry. Yes. I love
Hungry.
Danielle
Hungry.
said, Dr. Nick, let's meet at a Starbucks near you. Now you're gonna you should tell Starbucks that you done promoted them. So you're gonna have a whole audience
See?
at Starbucks now.
I need my endorsement,
There
Starbucks. I
you
need
go.
my endorsement.
There you go. I just love that. So
Yeah.
let's talk about, we talked about all of the things that you were doing. And we know, there are times where you're going to face challenges in your
Yes.
in your journey. You're going to face obstacles. You're
Mm.
going to face failures. You're going to do that. And you talked a little bit about that. But I want you to address that a little bit more because I know we have a lot of millennials, a lot of young people who hit that block. When they do hit that challenge, it's a sign of defeat, and a lot of times
Mm.
they internalize that to say that it's something about them. So how do you describe how you face times where you have to overcome? Like, what are some of the things that you do when you hit those failures, when you hit those challenges and hit those roadblocks?
Absolutely. This may sound too simple for some, but I
Mm,
give myself like at least 24 to 48 hours to process the failure.
mm,
Meaning, like, I allow myself to be human with, like, okay, what went wrong? What didn't happen? Like, if I could just sit on the floor for a couple hours and just like, how did this happen? Like, I give myself time to process what just happened, and I don't rush immediately into something different. So for me personally, it's 24. Sometimes it's less than that, but 24, no more. But for me, no more than 48 hours in that. I don't want to get stuck there, you know?
mm,
So no
mm,
more than 48 hours. I'm just processing, I'm thinking, I'm exploring what happened here. And then from there, that's when for me, I have to write it and get it out. Well, I'll
mm,
pull out a big board or what have you, and I just start having a brain dump. I start throwing things out of, hey, I'm going to take this, even from that failure, and apply it here. And this from this well. I start pulling it all together. And before you
mm.
know it, in a very short amount of time, I'm on last year, 2019. But most people don't know is that I failed at an apparel line a few years prior to that.
Mm.
And so the success that I'm seeing now, a lot of it came from what I failed at just a few years ago. And
Yeah.
so I just learned it from that, and it's paying off like incredibly. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
Awesome. Wow. You spoke about just the ability to have that type of self-awareness
Yes,
when you do fail, because it's a part of the journey. And a
part
lot
of the
of
journey.
times, we think that when we first start out doing something that we've never done, it's supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to go as we plan. It's supposed
Mm,
it's supposed to do exactly how I wrote it down. And
right.
then when it doesn't, we don't know how to process. So I love the fact that you say you give yourself time for that
Yes,
processing. And that right
absolutely.
there is a powerful, powerful thing, because a lot of times we don't take that time to process. And we either try
Absolutely.
to go on, and it begins to eat at us, right? We
Absolutely.
begin to internalize it, and we begin to see ourselves as the failure rather than we just failing at a certain activity. And
That's
then
good.
that
Mm,
becomes, well, maybe I'm not worthy. Well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And so I love the fact, and I hope you guys are getting that you give time to process it. Why did this
yes.
happen? What happened? How can I use this? And that right there that's such a powerful tool. Danielle said that you write it down, and that's another thing. I'm a big proponent of writing. I have stacks of
Right.
journals. If you see, if I turn the camera on, I got journals all over the place. I'm all about writing the vision and making it plain. Um,
Absolutely.
so I love the fact that that you shared that, and I thank you for sharing that, because people see success and you doing things, and they think,
Mm,
man, they go into that comparison trap to say, oh, he's doing this, he's excelling here, he's doing this, he's doing great, but I'm not. But I love
absolutely.
the fact that you're vulnerable and truly transparent, and saying that, no, I failed, and this is
Yes.
how I feel a lot, and this is how I dealt with it to move forward. So thank you for being open and sharing that. So
Absolutely.
let's talk about all that you have going on right now. We want to know all that you have going on. So let's start with the church, because you are a pastor. So tell everybody, where do you pastor? How they can find you if they want to join and see you more in that element.
Wow, absolutely. So, I pastor a church originally on the south side of Atlanta in Stockbridge, Georgia. Still there now. It's called Life Revolution Church. Started there in 2013. So the church is 7 years old. So we're there, and surprisingly to so many, earlier this year we actually took on a north location as well, which is Fresh Start Church, and so we pastor on that end of the town as well. And so we're on two totally different sides of town now, leading an amazing body of people. And so we're doing both right
Wow.
now. And so they can visit, you're on the south side of Atlanta, or you can come to Life Revolution if you're more on the north side. We're there at Fresh Start in Duluth. And so it's been an incredible season. Like, I never would have thought this would happen like this, but it's happening, and it's been amazing. It has.
Wow.
It
So
has.
what is that like to pastor at such a young age, to be responsible? That's
Yeah.
a heavy responsibility. So what is that like for you?
Absolutely. It always has amazed me to see people who were both younger, but more so people who are much older than myself
Mhm.
ask me questions. Like, it made no sense to me growing up. And honestly, now sometimes it still baffles me, like, wow, they want to listen. Like, what is this? And so I constantly am reminded by God of, like, it's all him. Like, it
Mhm.
has nothing to do with me. Like, he's made these deposits inside of me that goes beyond like biological age. Like,
Mhm.
these are his truths. And it reminds me of like Jesus. Like, he led when he was in his 30s. And
Mhm.
so like people of various ages would come and listen to him. And so like if I'm just following his example, like that's all I can do at this stage. And to hear and know people who want to connect regardless of my age or how I look, even of various ethnicities, it
Mhm.
blows me away because there's nothing special about me. There's
Mhm.
nothing special about me. It's simply that I'm just submitted and surrendered to what he wants. And that's it.
I love that.
That's
Submitted
it.
and surrendered.
That's
Submitted and
it.
surrendered, and watch God work. That is
That's
amazing.
it.
So excited for you pastoring to church. Alex says
I
age is
appreciate
nothing
it.
but a number. We
That's
got
good.
Life Revolution Church, Fresh Start Church, and so people will know where to find you. So okay, so we have pastoring, and now tell us more about your business and
Absolutely. Yeah. So I started a business a few years back called A Brown Enterprises. And
okay.
so that's the umbrella. And then under the umbrella, I've begun to build out different businesses under that umbrella. The one that we've most recently delved into with this is a giving sort of an apparel line last year. And this year, last month, in fact, we released a our first book as well. And so that's been we're a month in, only a month in now for since the book has been released. And this, Dr. It has blown us away.
Awesome.
People's response from like all over the country to this book, like it's blown me away. It really has. It really
Awesome.
has.
I
So
love
that's
it. So
been
we
really
got
good.
apparel and a book. So where can we get the book? You guys,
Absolutely.
where can we get the book?
Yes, you can get it from our website, which is the letter B, bcandidco.com is the site, or you can find it on Amazon. If you prefer the ebook, it's on Amazon. If you want the paperback, it's also on Amazon. So you can get it from Amazon, or you can get it from our site, bcandidco.com. I found that a lot of people like their book to be signed, and so I'm still signing. I take time every week to sign books. It's important to me to show
Yeah,
my appreciation and say thank you. And so if you get it from our site, bcandidco.com, I promise you I signed it and have it shipped off to you as well.
awesome. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. I mean, I will be ordering mine as soon as we get off. I love it. I'm definitely going to support you. Alex, I thank you for coming. And where can the people find
Thank
you on
you.
social media?
Absolutely. Instagram and Facebook. My handle is Alex underscore L Brown on Instagram. Same on Facebook, or you can look up Alex L Brown on Facebook as well. But Alex underscore L Brown. That's me. That's my official handle.
Awesome. I love it. So as we are wrapping up, guys, I hope this was good to you as it was for me. Oh gosh, this was amazing. It was so good to catch up and just for you to
Yes.
share what you're doing and how God is using
Yeah.
you. And I just continue to pray and that ask God. And I see your lovely wife in the chat, First Lady
Leah's in there.
Leah's in there. Hey, she's in there.
I appreciate it.
And I just ask God to just continue to open the doors for you all and
I
continue to
appreciate it.
impact and do
I
what you do.
appreciate it.
And as we all, as the saying says, the best is yet to come.
I
And
appreciate
I
it.
truly believe that you guys are doing some amazing things,
Thank you for that.
and just to see you grow from where we came from,
Right. Right. That's it. That's it. That's it.
where we
Hey,
came
Titus,
from.
can I share one more thing here with you?
Yes, absolutely.
Um, I just wanted to share this with you, like even for your audience to even hear this. You are so phenomenal. Like to see you even pursue your dream and becoming a doctor. Like you're so like inspiring even with your life, and it shows your focus and your perseverance. And so like I'm just excited to even just continue to follow you on your journey. And so whatever you do, do not give up on what you are doing right here. Like this is amazing. You're incredible. And just know that my team rocks with your team. So we with you, okay? We got your back.
I love it. I love you guys. I love you guys. I thank you.
Absolutely.
This has been great. So you guys definitely get Alex's book, y'all.
I appreciate it.
The link is in the comments. We'll pin it up. You can buy it at Be Candid co.com, or it's also on Amazon as well. So get the
Absolutely.
book, follow him on social media. They're doing great things. Pastor Alex L. Brown, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for
Thank
all the
you.
tools. Thank you for all the knowledge. And we'll hope you to come back
Absolutely. Anytime.
and share with us as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, guys, that is all we had today, guys. Was that good for y'all? James said, great job. I love it. Hey, Cedric. Dr. Nick is awesome. Amazing, awesome interview. Alex says, Natalie says, amazing interview. Cedric says, great session. They're loving it. So definitely share, like, put on your page, start a watch party once we get off for those people that are in the bed so they can see it tomorrow and they can hear all the great things that Alex had to say and they won't miss it. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and we'll be back again next week. Next week is our Ask the Expert. And we have an amazing doctor that's coming on to talk about wellness and health. So get your questions ready. It's going to be another opportunity for you to gain some knowledge and to help you just gain the tools and strategies that you need to be successful in this world. Because is what adulting in my purpose. And Alice, I'm gonna throw the last question so you can take us on out. This is the question
Absolutely.
that I ask every guest that comes on. What does adulting in my purpose mean to you?
Ooh, great question. What does adulting? So adulting in my purpose means that we're going from the stage of infancy and we're growing into this maturing, evolving, growing place of seeing our purpose grow and investing in others, and it's contagious. Like that's what I completely start thinking about. Like an adult, it gets outside of their own selves and they're all about helping others to win. And so by the way, the adulting in my purpose, that title by itself blows me away. And so we're going to grow up in our purpose. We're going to put clothes on that fits in our purpose and walk this thing out so that our legacy can be left behind for many others whenever we're long and gone away from this place. So purpose always lives on, always.
I love it. Well, there you have it, guys. Meet us back here next week, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we will have some more adulting with my purpose. Guys, good night and be blessed.
Good night.